in reality, you're not going to be using the FTP command line on a regular basis to upload your files. You know, we use the FTP client, which is a more graphic user interface these days. But I do want to show you the FTP client, which is installed on every PC. It's just there by default, so that you can see what that's like. And I just, want you to experiment with it and try it out yourself again, so that you can see how this works. I think it gives you a more direct sense of actually sending things up to the server. And then you'll do this just to get that experience, and then you'll move into using the FTP client, which you'll learn about in the next video. So to find FTP on your computer, you can just type in your search bar FTP. You want to use the app. And you can use the run command with it. So if I were to say run FTP down here, that would work just as well. I'm going to go ahead and say open, and you can see you've got the FTP with a caret. Now, what we're going to do is just go ahead and open the server. So we're going to use the command open, and then you're going to type in lordsdmsweb.net. You'll see that it says, if all goes well, there's no typos or anything, it should get you to the user line. And then you will type in the user ID that I emailed you to Canvas. I'm using one that's got test student. Yours will look a little something like this, but after the dot, it'll be your name. And then you'll enter the password that I gave you. And note that the password, the cursor doesn't move at all. You just have to type it in. The cursor won't move. You won't see anything. You just have to be really careful about typing it. And in fact, I would recommend copy pasting it so that you know you've got the right password. And then you'll get a message like this logged in. So the first thing we're going to do is make a directory, mkdir. I'll make one called test03. So you should get a message like this that says successfully created. And then we can change directory cd to test3. So there's nothing in there, but you can see what it does list when I use dir are the two levels above, the double dot and the single dot. That's just showing us how we would go back up the tree. So if I did cd ... that's going to take me up a level. And now if I do dir here, you can see that I've got some files in there. And I have a couple of other folders, test02, test03, as well as test folder. And so I can go to one of those other folders and then check what's in there. And that one does have a file in it. It's got a syllabus file. So this is a little bit closer to meeting the computer where it is, so to speak. And I hope it gives you a little bit more visceral sense of sending things to the server. I'm going to make just one note when you're doing the homework where you're going to just take some screenshots of your FTP. Make sure that you make a directory first and go visit the directory that you made before trying to use the dir command. For some reason, when you just log in and say dir on your root directory, it times out. I'm not quite sure why it does that. But if you follow the steps I did here where I logged in, made a directory, changed it to that directory, and then I can use the dir command either there or in my root folder, and it's fine. One other thing I do want to show you. So when you've done this, so let's say we made our new folder test3. The other piece of it, once you get things up to the server, is where do I find that on the internet? So that's the URL that I gave you in that file, and I just want to demonstrate that that does in fact work. So all you need to do is go to lordsweb.net and then put a / and then use whatever it is I sent you in that file, and it should just be your first name, last name, as your slug is what it's called, your little piece of the URL beyond the domain. You just type that in at the end and you hit enter, and you should get something that looks like that. And if you notice, this one updated now to show the test3 folder that we just made. So all the folders are there, and if you click on these, it will get you to the exact HTML pages. And then you can go back to get back into these directories where you can see what you've actually put up on the server. So you'll be able to see, I did this over here, and now I can see the results up actually on the internet. So I hope that helps step you through that 4.1 assignment and also gives you a sense of the FTP command line.